Hi, I'm Willie Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia. Good to be with you all this morning before I go to work. It's things I like to bring to you all attention again. I love having these talk with you all. And I love talking to you all about the things that God, both male and female, put on my heart and mind. The things I talk to you about, it's not no type of religious, it's not no prescribed way to go. The things that I talk to you about is some things that since we came into this world, we was taught to not to use our common sense. The things I talk to you about is awakening your common sense. Men and women of the world, they interested in your intellect, or the things that you know, the things you can teach them, the things that they can learn. And they allow their common sense to drop up like a leaf on the tree. What I am here and allowing, not me, but God in me, allowing me to talk to you all, it's not your intellect, it's your common sense, the things that's closer to God. I love each and every one of you all. And I hope the meaningful conversation that you and I have, that we don't never take offense to it, because that's not what these conversations are about. These conversations is not about putting nobody down if they think different than I think. They're not about pumping me up, because God allowed me to see things, and God never told me 100% not to come and say these things or don't say these things. It's just that the love that I have for humanity, I come forth and I share my thoughts with you all, hoping that in the process of me sharing my thoughts with you all, y'all would not judge me. Y'all wouldn't get upset. Y'all understand? It's just another way of hearing the adulterated truth. And the reason why I would say it's the adulterated truth, some people might say, well, guess what? You wasn't around here in the beginning. You wasn't around here when the sun started and stuff like that. How we know God talking to you? How we know this ain't a trick? You know, that's a beautiful question to ask. It's beautiful, and I love that. And that's what I want to talk about this morning. How you all know that I'm not trying to trick you all. And that's one of the beautiful things in the world. Easily, while I'm not trying to trick you all, I'm going to tell you some things going to resonate with your common sense. One, I don't have a prescribed way to go. I never said that God told me to say this, so I never lied to you. Two, I never came to you saying that this is a new way to serve God. Only thing I was trying to show you all my method of praying when I call on God. Not to saying that you have to do that. Not to saying you have to do that. It's not no prescribed way to go. It's not something that is mandatory. It's just like if you feel the same way I feel, I'm just trying to show you how you can get in contact with God yourself. God can hear from your world. But did God tell me, hey, Willie Thomas, just a format to tell everybody in the world when they pray, they can say these four things and I would appear? No, God never told me that. That's just something that God allowed me to see, to single me out, you know? What I would not do, I would never mislead God people. I would never tell God people that I would never misrepresent God. I would never tell people that God told me to say something, both male and female, and God never told me to do that. God never told me not one time to come to you all and say none of this stuff. but God allowed me to see it in my life, what had been going on. So therefore, out the love that God placed in me, I share that information with you all, hoping that it can help somebody. That's all I'm saying. What I would never do is mislead God people. Because one thing I'm gonna tell y'all right here and right now, God don't need nobody, both male and female, to come here and tell the men and women of the earth what God doing. God allow us to see it in our time, in real time. God created the sun, the moon, the star, the wind, the ocean, everything in the world, everything up under the ground, everything in space. What I'm just saying, God don't need no man or no woman here on earth to say, hey, God told me to say this. They lying when they say that. It's a bold faith lie. And to write a book saying that God said this and said that, that's devastating to men and women walking around here on earth. I would never say that. I would never say it. And if I do be talking to you all and I mention something like that, that's not me saying God sent me to say this. That's just me expressing myself using man-made words to try to get a point across. So as I'm trying to get my point across, to paint a picture in you all head, to say, hey, these some of the things that God allowed me to see. That's all that is. It's not coming from the perspective that God sent me. I'm a prophet. None of that. All that stuff is false. But God allowed us as people to talk to each other using our common sense. That's the best tool in the world that God then gave us, for us to talk to one another, to interact with one another, applying our common sense, not someone else common sense, not someone else saying that this how that you need to go and find this God. No, you're not applying your common sense. You listen to some man or some woman who done written something down, and you going by what they're saying. That's one of the biggest trick in the world for Satan. Satan came in this world acting like that they was from God, acting like everything that they was doing, that God sent them to do that. What I'm trying to say right here and right now, God have already done showed everybody in this world who ever had a beginning, their power, their strength, how they started something. So that person without excuse. Don't nobody have to say, hey, somebody came in the world and they doing God work. No. We don't have to say that. Any work that we doing on a human level is a human being level. Anything we doing in these human body is human. God is greater than that. God is the supreme being. We just only supreme. It's a difference. Ain't no man or woman can come down here and act like they represent God and telling you this a way that you can retain eternal life. It don't work that way. God give us all our personal relationship with God. It's something that we have to exercise. It's something that we have to feel good about it when we try our own method of praying. If that make any sense. I, Willie Robert Thomas, I'm here. I'm letting you all know 100%. If anybody was to say anything towards me or saying this how I am and this how I perceive things and this why that is false. I'm trying to tell my brothers and sisters again that I love them, and this why I share this with them. I shared with them, hoping that the light switch come up so men and women of this earth would stop fooling us, would stop leading us to the slaughterhouse to be slaughtered, teaching us a dangerous doctrine that they can't even be delivered from it. So if we follow that way, we can't never be delivered from it. Only thing I'm saying, God never put a mechanism in us to follow no man book, because it would have been in us. If God wanted us to see something that came in a book in our world, God would have easily placed it in everyone when they begin their journey here on earth. It's not necessary because God allowed us to see. Even if we blind, we can see the purpose and plan of God, both male and female. We need to understand that these things that men and women come up with, it's only to pump them up and make them feel special. When I do this, it ain't for me to pump myself up. I'm not asking nobody for nothing. Only thing I ask you to do is subscribe and let's continue to talk. That's it. I'm not asking nobody for no money. I'm not accepting any money for this. It ain't even about that with me. The only thing is about that people know the unadulterated truth. That's all I want them to know. That's all I want them to know. I just want them to know how God dwells in them. That's it. I want them to be able to get in contact with God in them. So men and women stop taking advantage of them while they here on this earth. That's it. Hi, I'm Willie Robert Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm glad to have this conversation with you all before I go to work. Let's keep talking about these things because they really mean something. Again, I reiterate it. God, both male and female, represent themselves. I do not represent God or no one else. I'm just a mere man. I'm a mere human being, just like you and I. God, both male and female, made each and every last one of us perfect. So we can learn from each other. And we can not only learn from each other, we also can teach each other how to apply our common sense more, so we'll stop getting fooled by men and women here on this earth. You ever thought to yourself, if Moses was the first one who written something in the book, the Ten Commandments and stuff, and Moses wrote about ecstasy and Deuteronomy and all that stuff, the beginning of the book, Moses wrote about all that, right? Moses said that he was in the mountain and God spoke to him in a burning bush. You know something? God don't. If God was speaking to people through burning bush, guess what? God will still be doing that right here and right now. In other words, Moses wouldn't have been the only one who saw that. That would have been revealed to a lot of more people who know God for a surety. God would be appearing to everybody on a daily basis through a burning bush. But God already is more greater than that, and realize, you know what's greater than the bush? The sun. The sun been around here for eternity. So that burning bush is still not burning. We have to ask ourselves, was it coming from God or another deity that we know nothing about? We have to ask ourselves again, when Moses came to Pharaoh and when he started introducing these plagues to God's people, why would God want to attack his own creation? Why would God want to make us worship God since God created us? If God wanted Moses to put fear in us and put plagues on the Egyptians and talk with a mighty staff, then God could have did that in the very beginning. We got to stop being fooled by these acts of idols, worshiping Satan. You know, when Moses first came from the wilderness, according to the Bible, the first thing He put the cane on the floor and it turned into snake, right? But guess what? The Egyptian had guys with black magic also. They put their staff on the floor, it became snake. It was just that Moses' black magic power was just better than theirs. Had nothing to do with a living God. Living God do not act that way. The living God created us all, and the living God loves us all. God won't act like in that book of the dead. In Noah, when God flooded the world, God wouldn't destroy his creation like that. God is pleased with us. God knows at some time, both male and female, that we know that there's this and we gonna come to them in righteousness at some point in time in our life. We just need a time. We just need a little time to understand what they've been doing for us all the while we was in the world. God just don't act like how those people written that Bible. God don't act like that. God don't put fear into you to call on them. They leave it all up to you. Thanks. I'm Willie Thomas from Loudon, Georgia. I'll be talking with you all tomorrow. Keep subscribing to my channel and hope going forward that we can keep having these meaningful conversations that will wake up our common sense so we would stop getting misled. Thanks.